Acha, I was asking you about your Evidence Act. Come on, tell
Yes,
me.
yes. So Indian Evidence Act is basically a procedural law which gives us the points of relevancy and admissibility of the evidence in the court of law. How the evidence is to be appreciated, what will be the relevancy, and in what terms it will be admissible in a civil and criminal proceeding. That is described in the Indian Evidence Act. This is the Act of 1872 and works fairly with both criminal and civil side.
Yeah. Do you know um, about NPA? What is NPA?
So NPA is a non-performing asset. The assets which are unable to pay their principal interest or both principal and interest for a period of 90 days or more are declared as NPAs.
But have you heard of the concept SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2?
Sorry,
Excuse
sir.
me. Have you
So,
heard of
sorry.
the concept special mention account?
No,
No.
sir, I'm not aware.
See,
Sorry, sir.
before it being classified as a substandard asset on completion of 90 days, the
Yes, sir.
accounts which are having arrears of 0 to 30 days are classified under SMA 0. 31 to
Okay,
60 are classified under SMA 1. 61 to 90 days are classified under SMA 3. Why such classification is done? It is to see that bank gives more attention towards these accounts so that they do not fall into the trap of NPA. Once the
okay.
account crosses 90 days due date, from the due date, it will be put into a substandard asset that is known as NPA. After
Yes, sir.
1 year, it is staying in NPA substandard. It will be transferred to doubtful asset 1. And after 2 years, it will be transferred to doubtful asset 2. After 3 years, it is D3. If there are no securities, it will be classified as a loss asset. So these things you must know to some extent because you are going to represent bank in legal proceedings. I mean, you are going to supervise or guide the lawyers of your bank. So you must
Yes, sir.
know the procedure of NPA. You must know the procedure of SARFAESI Act. You must know the procedure of insolvency bankruptcy code. ये सब आपको सीखा होना जरूरी है. आपको you
Yes, sir.
must also know DRT court. You must also know about lokayuktas. Do you know about them? Lokayuktas.
Yes, sir. So the ombudsman.
What is that?
Look,
Not ombudsman. Lokayukta is some other concept, but I'm not very clear about it. That's why I asked you. Please get to know about it.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, please tell me what is Part 3 and Part 4 of Indian Constitution?
So the part 3 of Indian Constitution deals with the fundamental rights, and part 4 of the Indian Constitution deals with the directive principles of state policy. So there are certain fundamental rights given in the Constitution to the citizens as well as non-citizens of India. These fundamental rights enshrine the duties of the state towards the citizens and the rights they carry towards country. Also,
Acha,
directive principle of
yeah,
state policies.
please tell me what are the achievements made by you as a lawyer?
So as a lawyer, I represented my clients in various matters, criminal as well as civil matters, also enrich petitions, filed various legal notices and give reply to them, and also helps to secure them justice and gives them a path to secure a proper legal procedure that is favorable to them. Along with that, sir, I represented my clients in various negotiable instruments acts, check bounce cases, also in matrimonial disputes, and also worked as a client counselor and mediator for my clients.
Can you tell me about a matrimonial dispute? What happened in that? This resulted in divorce or divorce being withdrawn?
So the matter was of divorce. It was a mutual divorce by mutual consent. Both the parties were ready to end the marriage after a year, after a separation of more than 1 year. It was a mutual decision made by the parties. The mediation was basically for the maintenance that is to be paid by the husband to the wife and the child. So in the mediation, we mediated the fair amount of lump sum one-time payment that is to be made by the husband to the wife and for the upbringing of the child. So
You
the divorce,
represented the woman or the male
woman and child.
child. Very good. Fine.
Yes.
Can you tell me about some achievement or important cases handled by you in other courts?
Sir, my area of working is a civil court. So, sir, I represent and deal with the cases which mostly deals with declaration suits, injunction suits, check bounce cases, and matrimonial disputes. Sir, during my tenure as a lawyer, I came across a very interesting case. There was a check dispute matter which came to me, and but the interesting point of this case was normally when a bank files a report in a check bounce matter, we goes to the 138 of Negotiable Instruments Act and proceed it with the Negotiable Instruments Act procedure. But the report given by the bank in that case was no account exists. Normally, the report given by bank in the cases is insufficient balance, payment stop, or the account closed. So when we inquired about this report, which the bank gave after the check bounce, so it was came to our knowledge that the account was closed 3 to 5 years before the check was administered to my client. So under that, sir, we came that it was a dishonest intention on the part of the accused before issuing the check. So the matter was not of 138 Negotiable Instrument Act, but rather it was under 420 of IPC and 406 of IPC. So we pursued a complete criminal proceeding against the accused person from a client point of view, rather than going for 138, which is regarded as a quasi-criminal proceeding.
Good. This is a very good case. I appreciate you. Can you tell me DRT minimum amount? How much is required for filing suit in Debt Recovery Tribunal?
So 20 lakhs is the minimum amount. 20 lakhs or more disputes are filed in DRT tribunals.
Have you filed any case recently?
No, sir, I personally haven't appeared in DRTs, but I know the procedure because DRT to the closest proximity is in Chandigarh, which is around 110, 120 kilometers from my area. So there is no such as lawyer which practice routinely in the DRTs.
If the bank had served a legal notice 13(2) of SARFAESI Act to the customer, and he has gone to DRT and filed an SA application, is it in time?
Sir,
Hello,
when the bank
SA application, is it in time?
No, sir, 60 days time should be given after the notice is served under section 13(2) of SARFAESI Act. After that, bank also considers the objections and the reply filed by the debtor or the respondent from the other side. After that, the proceedings of 13 clause 4, which signifies the taking of symbolic possessions or management of the company, are to be proceeded with. So essays are filed at a later stage when the disputes under section 17 has been regarded in the DRTs.
Okay. Who is a willful defaulter?
Sir, a willful defaulter is a person who, having means to pay, is not ready to pay the loan regarded from a financial institution or a creditor. Normally,
it is said for people who have arrears more than 25 lakhs and above. Now, of course, all others are also willful defaulter, but technically willful defaulter is one who has got arrear dues of over 25 lakhs. Can you tell me what are the assets of a bank?
So the assets of a bank majorly includes the loan disbursed by the banks in various categories. And the interest which the bank charge on that forms the part of the income of the bank.
True. Asset means you can also include fixed assets. That is land, building, machinery, vehicles, and all. That is fixed
Yes,
assets. Very
yes, sir.
good. Last question for you. What is the difference between hypothecation and a pledge?
So hypothecation and a pledge both are regarded on a movable property, but in hypothecation, the possession remains with the uh, debtor, but in pledge, the physical possession of the movable property is given to the financial institutions or the creditor.
Super. Thank you so much. You did well.
Thank you.
Best
Thank you,
wishes.
sir.
Be reading a lot. I have given you a set of questions, is it not? Lot of
Yes, sir.
questions. Please
Yes,
go
sir.
through them and prepare. And above all, please go through the various acts, important provisions of various acts, and
Yes,
some India Qanun, something like that. Latest Supreme Court decisions like that.
yes,
You
sir.
please go through that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Thank you.
anything I
You
should,
are answering well only, not problem. But when I came to about banks, the NPA and banks procedures, you are defaulting. I mean, you are not thorough with NPA and other things. But as
yes,
a lawyer, it is good to know about them also. Mostly they may not ask, but if they ask, you should not falter in that. Thank you.
okay. Sir, is it viable to describe that my experience in banking is not much, rather I work on the civil side?
No, no, no. Don't tell the negative points. We want somebody who has got exposure in taking up bank cases and who has say obtained a decree, who has executed a decree and all that. ऐसा तो नहीं आएगा, but at least
Yes, sir.
if you are theoretically good in expressing your views, you will be selected.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Thank
how
you.
much I expect to score on the basis of my today's interview, sir? Out
Here,
of 20.
as it is now, out of 10, I will give you 7.
Okay, sir.
If there are other candidates who are not performing well, possibly you will get selected. It depends. You
Okay,
you
sir.
you do not lack confidence,
Yes, sir.
but थोड़ा लीगल एंड बैंकिंग इन्वॉल्व करने से आपको थोड़ा खराब हो जाते हैं. थोड़ा बैंकिंग
Okay.
भी जानना जरूरी है, इसलिए सीख
Yes, sir.
लीजिए. एंड
Yes, sir.
स्पेशली यू आर अपियरिंग फॉर यूबीआई, उस बैंक का बारे में
Yes,
बहुत सीख लीजिए.
central bank, sir.
अच्छा, सेंट्रल बैंक का बारे में
Central,
सीख लीजिए. सेंट्रल बैंक
yes, sir.
एनी रीसेंट फेमस केसेस होगा तो वो भी सीख लीजिए.
Yes, sir.
थैंक यू.